You get stale.
Popcorn?
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
You forget about things like stale.
Popcorn.
Popcorn, stale popcorn.
Popcorn. Pop.
This is the
Stale popcorn.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Stale Popcorn Podcast. I'm your host, Steven, and with me, as always, is my co-host. Gonna make him a Christopher he can't refuse. Chris, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well, Stevenson Butthead.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
I like that one. I like it a lot, actually. How you been?
Just, living the dream. Had a few days off the old work here, so it just devoted, instead of spending time with the family, the wife, and the kid, I'd go watch as many movies as I can, and so mainly been doing that. But, no, it's been fine. How about you, Steve? What have you been up to? How you living?
I'm living good, not doing much, just running the old mill, the old grindstone. I guess we got quite the show for the people here today. If anyone wants to skip about, we're going to be talking some movie news and talking about the movies and shows we've been watching this week, and then got a special episode for y'all. So, Christopher, do you want to start us off and tell us some movie news you got for us?
I got some movie news, but I want to start off with a little television news, if I may, Steve. I know you said movie, but is it okay with you?
I'll allow it.
The other week, we talked about the whole Abbott Elementary, It's Sunny crossover.
Yep.
And it turns out crossover will take place episode 9 of Abbott Elementary, season 4. We got the whole Sunny gang, the A story, B story, C, D. It's all of them.
Oh, very good. Yeah, the new season just premiered, I think, this week. So 9 weeks away, I guess. Excited for that, Christopher?
I'll watch that episode for sure, just to see what's going on there. But that'll be fun.
Nice.
Now, did you hear about this? Are you a huge Green Lantern fan?
Ever since that 2011 movie came out, no.
Did you watch that?
I did in theaters. I watched it with my buddy Josh, and he was like, that wasn't very good, was it? And we're like, nope, because that was like early superhero movies kind of finding their footing, and that one was, it wasn't great, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I hear.
Yeah.
I never seen it. I don't know a ton about the old Green Lantern. Basically, all I know him is from that cartoon Justice League. Did you ever watch that cartoon?
Is it like Batman the Animated Series kind of style?
Yeah.
Justice League? Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was a good show. They had the Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a bunch of different versions of the Lantern.
Indubitably,
Is there just like a lantern per planet? Ryan Reynolds' Earth.
That's
Green
how
Lantern.
it is in the movies.
And okay, well, we got 3 confirmed here. Guy Gardner is going to be played by Nathan Fillion.
Ooh-wee, been rumored for years. I cannot wait for his dumb little haircut.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the bowl cut
ginger
guy.
With the bowl cut.
Okay. And then we got Jon Stewart. It's going to be Aaron Pierre.
Oh boy.
You know
our
Aaron?
Boy Aaron. Oh yeah, sure. Yes, from Rebel Ridge, one of our favorite movies.
I know.
Fantastic casting, if you ask me, Christopher.
I agree. And last but not least, Hal Jordan by Kyle Chandler.
Kyle Chandler from Friday Night Lights, if I recall. Godzilla, King Kong.
Game Night.
Oh, he was great.
Super 8.
Yeah. He's a bit of an older fellow, if I can politely say. Am I wrong in that? Like, I feel like...
he looks young to me. I mean, he's an attractive...
Young in spirit. I'm thinking of the longevity of the franchise here, Christopher, because you got to be pumping out sequels. And
he's probably about the same age as Nathan, wouldn't you reckon?
Oh, sure, yeah.
So why aren't you saying this about Nathan, Steve?
Because Kyle was the first one that came to mind, I guess.
Wow.
They're both very good actors, though.
Yes.
Again, I feel like Aaron Pierre is definitely well, you know what? Take it back. They're all great casting. Love all of them.
I like all 3. I feel like I haven't seen Kyle in a while, so I'm excited to see him back and see Coach again. But
definitely.
Zachary Levi.
Oh, is he in the Lanterns?
No.
Okay, good.
In fact... What, you're not a fan of Zach?
No, I was just joking.
Wow. Reportedly thought that his Shazam role would be his ticket to being The Rock or Chris Evans, but it didn't happen for him, and he's bitter about that.
Yeah, man, I'd be bitter too.
Yeah, me too.
I had all the trappings of like a success. The first one was pretty good. The second one, people were wanting for it, but he's had a very rough go of it. Sorry, Zachary, but
yeah, I just imagine like a Drag Me to Hell or a whole situation where he's He's high in the sky. He's just got Shazam. Everything's going well. And then he pisses off some gypsy or something. And she says, in 10 years, you're going to be in a purple crayon movie. And he's like, oh, yeah, you dumb idiot. And then here he is. Hey, come watch Purple Chaos Crayon in theaters now.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah,
rough go of it.
My favorite film franchise of all time. Can you take a guess, Steve?
Is it Jonathan Wick?
How did you know?
Because on Bloody Letterboxd, you gave them all 6 stars even, I think.
I would. That's one I could stand for 30 minutes clapping.
Yeah.
Well, I got projects in works. They got a little screenshot here from the great Culture Crave.
Mm-hmm.
So we got John Wick 5.
Ooh.
It could take place before John Wick 4, potentially.
Oh, okay.
And then we got Ballerina. Tentative plans for a sequel if successful.
Sure.
Kane. You know Kane?
Kane. Is that Ian McShane's character?
No, it's Donnie Yen.
Oh, he... The one with the cane. Very clever, I see that. Yes, indubitably.
Donnie Yen will reprise his role.
Yay, I love Donnie.
And a Kane spinoff.
Ooh.
And we got Chad Stahelski's John Wick Under the High Table. Won't feature John Wick, takes place after Chapter 4 and follows new characters.
Interesting. So they're really doing a John Wick cinematic universe type deal.
And then they got John Wick anime series.
Okay.
Stahelski says the anime will create stories that the TV show can't.
Yeah, okay. Is they bringing any actors to voice the characters? I'm sure Keanu would be down.
You know I don't have the answer to this, Steve. So
well,
why are you asking?
Christopher? Well, you the one's got all the information.
I know. I got everything here. John Wick game. Looking at making a big budget AAA game.
Now, are you much of a gamer, Chris? Do you like...
I like games.
Do you go Overwatch style with John Wick, or did they do like a Assassin's Creed kind of deal? What do you think?
I'm assuming it's probably more Assassin's Creed.
That would make the most sense.
I like the multiplayer ones, and something tells me this ain't going to be a multiplayer. But I do like game. You could say I put the gay in gamer.
Yeah, I would say that too, yeah.
Now, The Wild Robot, a film me and you just loved.
Ooh-wee.
Sequel is officially in the works.
The audience can't see me, but I'm pumping my hands in the air.
He's pumping. And also, another thing with Wild Robot, it's already out on digital.
Oh, wow. That was fast.
Yeah, it was real
3
fast.
or 4 weeks?
Yeah, it was less than a month.
Wow.
So go ahead and watch that if you hadn't. Splurge the $5 or whatever it takes to rent digitally. Go to your Redbox, go to your Blockbuster, go to your local
Blockbuster.
Yeah, and go see it.
Yeah.
And I got some Joker 2 news.
All right, let me strap in for this one.
It grossed $7.05 million domestically this weekend, an 81% drop. Highest box office drop ever for a comic book movie. Projected to lose around 150 to 200 million in the theatrical run.
I would say it's a shame, but they deserve it, to be honest.
Yeah.
You deserve to lose money for what you've done there.
I agree. Now, a show I'm excited for. Now, you tell me if you're excited for this, Steve. Invincible Season 3.
Ooh, yes. I do not remember anything from the second season, so I might have to rewatch that. I don't like that they split the season in half.
Yeah, me neither. Comes out, I guess the announcement, it comes out February 6th. Is the one that's
2025?
I assume so, but
you can never be too sure these days.
That's true.
Bloody 2 years in between seasons is the norm now.
That's a good point. And another show we've been watching, The Penguin. Episode 4 has one of the highest IMDb ratings for a TV show episode ever at 9.5 out of 10.
Wow. Okay. I've fallen behind a little bit on that. Have you caught up to those, or are you?
No, I saw the first episode and we talked about it, and I think I'm going to catch up now. I was going to just wait till they're all out and real binge them, but
shotgun them. Yeah,
I don't know if I can wait that long.
Too.
I got to watch this here.
Yeah, I've heard good things. Nothing but good things, actually.
Now, a movie that comes out this weekend, Steve, Smile 2.
Ah, yes.
You seen any of the marketing for this?
I've seen some of the marketing, not all of it. I've seen the creepy people in the windows smiling it down at the fellows and lasses there.
Yes. Nothing else.
That's the only, and some of the trailer, I guess. But
they did this for the first one, I remember, but they have these people and go into like baseball games because it's the MLB playoffs right now.
Oh,
and they'll just sit behind the home plate and just do a creepy smile the whole game, and the camera will see it in the background. I got to say, did you see the first one, Steve?
I didn't see the first one.
I saw it with the old wife years back, and I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, didn't love it, but I will say it's got that long legs marketing. They know how to market it.
Yeah, you got to get boots on the ground, get people talking in an organic way, Yeah,
and people are saying this is better than the first, so.
And we'll hear your review of it next week and what you've been watching. Ain't that right, buddy?
Yeah, I probably will watch it actually, and I'll tell you, Steve. But that's all the announcements I got. You got any, Steve?
I got a few that were interesting to me. Are you familiar with the TV show Voltron?
Age of Voltron?
No, Voltron.
Is that a Transformer? What is this?
It's like a Power Rangers late 80s, early 90s cartoon where, the different robots shaped like animals come to form a man type deal.
So, like,
one of those.
Sounds kind of familiar.
Not only are they doing a live-action version, but our boy Henry Cavil is cast in the live-action Voltron movie.
Is he going to be Voltron?
He's going to be the giant Voltron, yes. His arms and legs are going to separate. People are going to ride those around.
Wow.
It's going to be good. No, but I liked Voltron as a kid. Henry deserves to be in something good for once, so I'm looking forward to it. He's a real man's man.
He was good in Deadpool.
Oh, yes, I recall. Yes.
Yeah, he was integral to the plot.
Integral, yes, absolutely. Moving on, Christopher.
Yes.
Are you a fan of Elon Musk?
Sure.
And by that I mean, are you a fan of Tesla?
Never had one, never driven one, but sure. I mean,
sure.
If someone offered me one, I wouldn't say no.
Absolutely. So this week, Elon unveiled new prototypes of robots and cars and buses and a new chapter in human civilization, a real megalopolis type deal we got going on. If you know what I mean.
I think I see where this is going.
Yes. Did you see, I guess, the iRobot director, Alex Proyas?
Oh, has he got the self-driving car?
No. So the director of iRobot has accused Tesla CEO Elon Musk of stealing designs for robots and vehicles from his film. He pointed to our post, which featured a side-by-side comparison of the movie's designs with Tesla's latest product announcements this week. He tweeted at Elon, he said, "Hey, Elon, can I have my designs back, please?" And if you go on Twitter, they do look similar, right? I don't know if you've seen that tweet.
Wait,
from
so
him.
this is robots?
Yes, Elon is making robots now.
We're talking like a white. Is it sunny? Is he slamming his fists on the table? I did not murder him.
Exactly. I mean, it's a robot, and the cars, they don't really have the hubcaps on there. It does look eerily similar to the iRobot designs, right? And the director's hemming and hawing and dragging his feet around and saying, "Elon, you stole my designs," and causing a real ruckus on the internet.
Elon responded here? Before
the director said that, Elon put out a tweet that said he announced all this and said, "We robot," as opposed to iRobot. Just acknowledging that, he knows that exists. I don't think he directly ripped off his designs. I don't think, to my knowledge, he's responded to anything. The director of iRobot has been catching some flack too from everyone.
Yeah.
Because first of all, those aren't your designs, Mr. Director. They're your concept artists, right? So let's get that straight. And also, those artists took design cues from other designers, right? So it's you don't have a capital on these designs, although it does look similar, I will admit. But the director ran into a losing battle with Elon because
you lose that battle.
You do. You lose it 9 times out of 10.
Exactly.
Not only does Elon have more money, he has more fans on the internet, and that's what wins battles nowadays, Christopher.
Yes.
Whoever has the most fans wins, and that's why we lose all the time.
Do you know any other movies this director directed?
Ooh, I don't know, actually.
I'm going to look it up. Alex Proyas.
iRobot, yeah.
I think this guy has got some clout, if you ask me. He directed the hit film Gods of Egypt.
Oh.
The hit film Knowing.
Oh, jeez. You've made it worse for us.
Hey, say what you will. Oh, yeah, he did the OG Crow.
Yeah.
I don't hate the knowing. I've seen it thrice in my life, and each time I didn't hate it. I wouldn't really recommend it, but it's not bad. Gods of Egypt I seen once, and I didn't hate it. It was kind of fun. And iRobot, I mean, I love that film. I haven't seen it in 15 years, but I remember as a kid just loving, hooting and hollering, crazy Shia LaBeouf. I mean, I was like, as a kid, this guy's so crazy. Oh man, he's really fallen off. And then little did I know, 10 years, 15 years later, he'd revenge taste dressed in a wedding dress, if you know what I mean.
Exactly. Well, Christopher, I have one last news story for us, if you'll indulge me. You know what time it is?
It's actually 9:27 p.m. Central, I believe.
No, Christopher, it's time for Glenn.
Oh, yeah!
Glenn's Corner, where I'm sitting in the corner looking at nothing but a picture of Glenn. Glen Powell starts filming Chad Powers during halftime show at UGA game as crowd boos.
Ooh.
Says Glen Powell took to the field during halftime at University of Georgia's game against Mississippi State on Saturday while filming his upcoming comedy series Chad Powers. Viral TikTok that shared Powers running onto the field with fictitious team wearing blue and white as the crowd boos. According to another video shared by the TikTok user, the crowd was instructed to boo as the actors took the field.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That I feel like that's how most football movie fields or movies are done, right? They get a real crowd going and get them hemming and hawing and booing and yelling and all that. And
I didn't know
a lot of people,
but I like that.
Yeah, a lot of people were confused on the TikTok. They're like, that looks like Glen Powell. But it's not him because he's wearing an obscene amount of makeup. If you've seen the set photos and everything,
I'm assuming he's got like a long hair wig, probably a mustache, a mole.
Yeah, he's got a nose prosthetic on. He's got like protruding eyebrows. It does not look like Glenn. Maybe Glenn's incestuous cousin or something. But so yeah, we're excited about see some Chad Powers, right, Christopher?
Oh, I'm excited. Honestly, I love the concept. I love the actor. I'm sure it's going to be great. I can't wait.
Me neither. Well, with that being said, Chris.
Yes.
Got a question for you.
Sure.
And that question is, what you been watching?
Well, I got a couple. So it's spooky season. We're trying to get spooked, trying to get scared. And we see there's a flick called You're Killing Me. You heard of this?
No.
You're killing me here, Steve.
There it is.
Basically, the premise is there's this high school girl and she's at a high school party. There's some kid missing and she finds something she wasn't supposed to find. And then it's kind of her locked in the house and there's these people trying to get her. Hostage scenario type of thing. And it's similar to Green Room, which I know you haven't seen, but if you've seen Green Room, it's like that, but 3 times less intense. But it's still a pretty intense movie. I wrote down pros and cons just for you, Steve. Pros, there's suspense throughout, and it's an interesting premise. Cons, it's got some of the most infuriating characters. You know, it's like when you think of a token horror film, it's just like they make all the dumb mistakes. Mm-hmm. Watching this, I don't know if that helps or hurts. I ended up putting in a con just because it gets your blood going. It gets your heart rate raising, which I guess gets you more interested in the film, but it is also so infuriating. And it gets to a point where you're just like, I actually don't care what happened. I kind of want you to die now, you know?
Yeah.
And then the ending kind of isn't that great of the cons. Mm-hmm. So I stand up, give that a 3-minute standing no. Not the best.
Is it an older movie, or when did it come out?
I think it's only like 2-3 years ago. It's pretty recent.
Okay.
It didn't really have any actors I knew. Bunch of randos, but
Chris, you're killing me.
Yeah. And then I seen another film. Maybe you've seen this, Steve. American Psycho.
I actually haven't seen that ever. I just know the memes and the funny bits.
Yes. So me and the wife, we'd never seen this, and it was her turn to pick. She said, "Oh, throw that on." Pros, Christian Bale's great. He plays a psychopath real well. He's real funny in it. And I put so many memes. So yeah, like you'd said, like I'd seen all these memes before. Now it's like, oh, I got context behind it. But it also is like funny watching it because he's like, ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like.
To you, it's just a movie of memes.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
But overall, the movie, it's kind of drags on and it gets pretty boring. And the end, I didn't like, neither of us liked the ending. It was just kind of really falls off at the end. So I think I'll probably never watch it again. I see why people like it. I definitely can see why people don't like it, but I'd probably give that like a 1 minute standing O.
Okay. Interesting. I've always heard that it's like such a good movie and Huey Lewis and the News and all that jazz.
It wasn't bad. I don't think you would like it, Steve. And then we watched another horror film, Totally Killer. You heard of this?
Is this the one where the daughter goes back in time?
Yes.
I've heard of it. I've seen some trailers and I was like, that looks like a fun premise.
Yeah. Well, it is a fun premise. That's a pro. No, that's the premise. Basically, you ever seen Scream? You watch any of those Scream flicks?
Nah.
It's very similar to Scream, where it's like, it's a horror film, but it's comedy. It kind of makes fun of itself. So if you like Scream, you'll like this. And I like Scream. It's got some funny parts. It's one of those whodunit. Oh, figure out who the killer is. Some cons for this, it's time travel. Those always, like, if you think about it, I'm
Nothing
like,
makes
that makes
sense.
no sense. And then it's not really that spooky or scary. It's fine, but I still wouldn't really even consider it a horror film because I'm like, not really scared for anything here. So I think overall, I'd give that a 2 minute standing ovation.
Okay.
And then one more, Steve.
One more thing.
So I hadn't actually been to the theater in weeks.
Oh.
And the last movie I saw was Joker 2, and I guess that just left such a bad taste in my mouth. I'd gone like 2 weeks without going to the theater. And also, there wasn't really any movies that came out that I was like, I don't really care for any of these. But I did watch Saturday Night. You heard of this?
Ah, yes. I had been debating whether or not to see that because I saw some documentaries about the history of Saturday Night Live, and I thought it was quite interesting. But pray tell, Chris, how was it?
I didn't love it. I probably wouldn't recommend it. Like, it's not a bad movie. I guess I didn't really... Did you grow up on Saturday Night Live? Are you a Saturday Night Live nut?
Absolutely not, Christopher.
Okay.
I saw a few at my friend's house, but like that was like the Adam Sandler, Chris Farley days. So yeah. Yeah,
I could see, especially if maybe you were watching it when it first came out. Takes place, it's the first night of Saturday Night Live. So it's like 1975 with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd and them. I could see if you were more familiar with them. And then it's got like George Carlin and that one Muppet guy, Jim Henson. And
that one Muppet guy.
Sorry, I just couldn't remember his name for a second.
Yeah.
So like there are a bunch of those people, and I'm sure if you're like, oh hey, that's that guy, there's more I missed.
It's got Winston from New Girl, right?
It's got one of my pros got a good cast. Winston, maybe he was supposed to be Eddie Murphy. Maybe I missed that part. I don't. But yeah, it's
that
got
would have been great.
Winston,
it was a great Eddie Murphy.
J.K. Simmons is in it. Willem Dafoe. Dylan O'Brien.
Oh, yes. It's Dan Aykroyd. Yeah.
Some other people I'm sure I'm forgetting. But pros, good cast. The guy that plays Chevy Chase does a real good job. It definitely seems like a Chevy Chase kind of thing.
Is he extremely annoying and unpleasant to be around?
Yeah.
That's good.
But yeah, cons, I would say the most interesting thing I was looking forward to was they cut it before it happens. It's one of those where you're like, all right, it's finally building up here. Now I'm like actually interested in the third act, and then it stops before all that happens. So I'm just like this is what I was more excited to watch. And
does it take place in like real time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those, like, I think it's like an hour and a half before it goes live. And then it cuts right when it goes live. And I'm like, I care more about this than
what I just
whatever I just watched here.
Yeah.
And it's got one of those, I don't know if it's on purpose or if it's just like 70s comedy, but they'll be like doing a bit and everyone's like laughing. And I'm just, like Homelander sitting in the theater, just like... Is this supposed to be funny, or is this like maybe these are actual skits they did in the 70s and they're like, this is hilarious, like, because I don't know, but
yeah,
it wasn't really funny.
Our kind of comedy is broken. I look at some memes nowadays and I'm like, that's hilarious. But if I would have showed like my dad or grandpa, I'd be like, let's go to the doctor and check you out.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of that, but so I didn't love it or hate it. I think that's a 0 for me. I'm not standing, clapping, not booing. I'm just leaving as soon as
just
that.
middle ground.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's all I got, Steve. What have you been watching?
Chris, I watched one movie this week.
Ooh.
I watched it with my brother-in-laws. They're younger generation, and we're trying to pick a movie, and I came across Miss Doubtfire.
Ooh.
Just a good old classic.
That's
they were
a
like,
good
"What
one.
is that?" They're like,
how old are
this
these
movie-
folks?
they're youngins, not even out of high school, And I've seen it many times, but I just reiterated in my mind how bloody lawless of a time Hollywood used to be.
Yeah.
That they would greenlight such a project,
Yeah, such a
weird movie.
problematic film, wouldn't you say, Steve?
Not for me. I love it. That's one of my favorite movies. Bloody. It was enduring. Love Robin Williams at his probably his peak performance there. Aladdin time. And,
Hello.
yeah, it's just a fun movie, man. Like they don't make movies like that where it doesn't have to be a blockbuster. It doesn't need to make money. It's just like a fun movie where the actor is like, "Hey, let's do this," and they're like, "Yeah, sure." And it's just fun, man. It's an escape movie where a dad just loves his kids, and I can relate to that. And yeah, I'm standing up and clapping for like a good 8 minutes because it was such a breath of fresh air and just a good old time all around, Chris.
I agree. I actually was on a cruise once. You go to the shows or whatever, and somehow I got pulled up on the stage and I was dressed as Miss Doubtfire. I did some bit where I caught on fire and I was, slamming my fake breasts, and I killed. The crowd goes wild, the standing ovation. And
is this from something?
No, this is what.
Is this a real story?
Pretty sure there's a video of it somewhere. I
thought you were,
kill
like, quoting
everyone.
Nick Cage or
Oh
something.
man, this guy is a god. And they gave me some what do you call the film slap thing? You know what I'm talking? The slate.
Yeah.
I got a slate.
Ah.
If you know me, leave a comment below confirming the story if you were there. But
that's funny. I thought you were like queuing up for a bit, Chris.
No, I'm just telling you what happened, man.
That's funny. Good on you.
Yeah, I
good
know.
on you, pal.
But I love that movie. Every time I watch it, it still holds up. Nice, funny, heartwarming.
Mm-hmm.
Can't agree more, Steve. That's a great film. Did the kids like it?
Oh, yes. They were laughing so hard. They were just like, this movie is so weird. Because they're used to their Fortnites and, their Mr. Beasts and everything. They loved it. So it's timeless and timely, but
nice,
enjoyable by anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Chris, do you want to dive into the main course of this episode?
Yes.
We're talking about what we wanted to do this week, and I was like, Chris, maybe we should rewatch Venom 1 and 2 and talk about that. Chris really didn't want to watch those two movies, so we thought we'd do something different. With Venom, the last Venom movie coming out, we thought we'd dedicate a whole episode to our good friend of the show, Tom Hardy, the man of 1,000 grunts, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Tom, he's got some iconic characters. Yeah. Tom's got some quite iconic characters, some definitely better than others.
Mm-hmm.
But what we thought we'd do is we were like, let's rank Tom Hardy characters, right? But we got to stand out. We got to do something different, innovate, do something that nobody is doing. And quite frankly, nobody wants, but we're going to do it anyway. But we're going to be ranking Tom Hardy characters as suitors for our daughters. So the scenario is if our daughters came home and brought this character to meet us, how would we react? And we're going to be ranking, what do we got? About 10 characters from various movies. We're going to be placing them in one of 5 categories on a tier list, as you do on the internet. And the tier lists are as follows. We got the tippity top tier, which is they got our full blessing. The next tier below, not our first choice. The middle tier is him, ? Which is like the middle ground. The second to last tier is thank you, no. And then the bottom tier is you are not to see that boy anymore. So should lay down just a couple of ground rules, Christopher. With that all out of the way, I wanted to ask you and get your opinion. Are we in their world, in Tom Hardy's world, or is Tom Hardy being plucked out of his dimension and put into our planet? What do you think?
I assumed it was our planet. I mean,
all right.
I wouldn't assume I'm just in the middle of Australia in the apocalypse and he rings on my doorbell. Hey,
oh, yeah, how you doing?
Hey, good to see you.
All right. So, he's been plucked from his universe and put into ours, and we'll say that it's his current state. Whatever state he's in the movie is what he is, not whatever he could become. So with that being said, Chris, you ready?
I assume we're probably going to spoil a lot of these movies if we're talking about his traits.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
So just be warned, if you care for, if you haven't seen any of these, I'm not going to go through all the plot of the movie, but probably, if the guy's a scumbag, I'm probably going to give a few reasons why. Or if he's a hero, I'm going to give a few reasons why.
Oh, sure, certainly.
All right, let's do this.
Starting off with one of his more iconic characters, Max Rockatansky from Mad Max Fury Road. What are your thoughts, Chris, if your daughter brought this bloke home?
If I were to describe him from the movie, he is brave. He's a little standoffish, but he does turn to a liking to Charlize and ends up kind of saving them and saving all those people.
Yeah.
So to me,
he's got good qualities.
He's higher up on the list. I don't know if I would give a full blessing, especially if he's got the thing on his face here, like a mask on. I mean, it might be. And if he's just like grunting at me and water, that's bait, you know. I'd say one of the top two. Full blessing or not our first choice. I think this is mainly because I went through all of them, and most of these are pretty scumbags. I guess, So to me, he's higher up. On my order I was doing, I had him as number 4. So maybe I'll put him in our first choice. But what do you think? You can sway me. I
feel like that's a little high. And here's my reasoning, Christopher. He is well equipped. He is well equipped for the survivor situation in middle of nowhere Australia. However, if he's brought into our world, what kind of job is he going to get? You know, lack of communication skills for one.
Could be
he's
NASCAR
not a bloody team
driver.
Player. Oh, NASCAR,
he's a team player. He helps all those women.
And I'm trying to think of like a corporate situation.
He doesn't sexually assault any of the women, and he's got plenty of options in the film. He's a good stand-up man. Plus, I've never seen the first ones, but there's some kid. I think he likes the kid that he sees in his little Mirage.
Oh, yes.
So he cares for the kid. Maybe he let him die or something. I don't know. But he was a family man before, or what was his backstory here?
I'm not sure. I don't know the Mad Max lore. Comment below. Where would you put this guy?
But
I think
I see your
I'm comfortable with putting him in.
We can put him in him if you want.
I'll put him in him.
Yeah.
Like him, question mark? Yeah.
That's fair.
So Mad Max, him. Okay. All right. Next up is Bronson from the movie Bronson. Charles Bronson.
So, yeah.
This one's pretty clear cut, right?
I've seen the movie a while back. Basically, he's like a prisoner, insane, kills a bunch of people. Is that, am I getting that right? Based off a true story. Yeah. I think you are not to see that boy anymore.
Absolutely. Let's put that boy right down there.
Yeah. I think he was bottom of my list.
Up next, we got Locke from the movie Locke. What's his name? Ivan Locke.
Yeah, Locke. John Locke.
Yes. One thing I can say about this man is I would never worry about our daughter getting from point A to point B as this man drives.
Yeah. He sure knows how to drive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But if I remember, he's not a good bloke because, spoiler alert, he's going to see his mistress's baby. Is that right?
Yeah, I think if I recall, he's driving to like Seattle or something because he had an affair with some lady and she's having a baby. And then he has to call his wife like, hey, gotta go get the baby. It's the right thing to do. And he's a real, not a good guy.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a trash scumbag. So
yeah.
Should we put that down at the bottom?
Yeah, I would say, I'd take that over Bronson. I don't know if we're going in order here, but yeah, I'd say.
Okay, we'll put him there. Situated dead last right now.
In reality, probably all of these would be purple if I don't want them all to be you're not to see that boy anymore.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we got to get some variety in here.
Next, we got It's Not the Darkness was your ally.
Mr. Wayne. Yes, we got Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. Now listen, Chris, I can appreciate his fitness regime.
Oh, yes.
However,
yes.
I feel like if I were to sit down on the dinner with this bloke, he would be like, I would constantly be asking, can you repeat yourself, please, good sir?
Sorry, say that again?
In my mind, if we're sitting down at dinner and I got the upper hand as a father, I'm demanding he take that mask off.
Yeah. See
you're
what
under
you're
my
working
roof,
with.
you know.
Yeah.
and then I can belittle him.
Yeah, well, you call that thing a face?
But listen, he does have determination. He's got the hustler mindset.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he's a grinder.
He's a grinder.
And
Yeah.
if I recall, I think he's pretty loyal to Talia, right? Is it a friend
loyal,
zone
yeah.
situation? What was going on there?
Yeah, he got super friend zoned.
But he is also kind of a, psychopath. Why is he killing the whole city again? Do we know? I
He was
forget.
part
It's
of
been
the
a
League
while.
of Shadows.
Mm.
They wanted to destroy Gotham because it got too dirty.
All right, if you look past all the murders and the, kind of
What murders? He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
He was the best guy around.
I think I'd probably have to put him in between Locke and Bronson. Just because
Right there.
Locke is a scumbag. I think character-wise, I'd rather have Bane than Locke.
Sure,
But
yeah.
I also feel like my daughter would be less safe. Like, I don't think Locke is going to murder her.
Yeah.
Versus I
get that.
even if Bane doesn't, just the fact she's around a villain, not a great environment.
Yeah, the prison will do that to him.
Yeah.
Up next, we got Tuck from the movie This Means War. Not his most iconic role, but we had to throw some variety in there, various level of grunting. There's only so much grunting
Yes.
Tom Hardy does. This is his least grunting movie, I feel. Not a terribly bad person, if I recall.
I think out of all these, he's probably the best. Like, he's CIA, right?
Yeah.
And
Secret agent type.
I think he's divorced and he has a kid, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, I wouldn't say you're looking for a divorcee to be with
Yeah.
your daughter, but I'd take that over what else we got here.
What other, yeah. I'd put him at not our first choice.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Out of most of these, he's higher up than the rest, for sure.
Yeah, he's got a good job, but that's one qualm I have. He's too focused on the job. He's in love
That's
with the job.
true. Do they say why he gets the first divorce here? Not much attention to the family?
As probably Chris Pine's fault somehow.
Yeah, probably so. But it could be worse, but yeah, it wouldn't be my first choice.
Definitely. Up next, we got Eddie Brock, short for Edwin Brock from the movies Venoms.
Yes. We are
here's
Venom.
my oh sure
We are
we're
Venom.
Oh, I did, when putting this list together, it never occurred to me that Venom would be with him. I was just picturing Eddie Brock, so that changes my ranking actually quite a bit.
Yeah.
Listen, protection wise, check. Mental stability, uncheck. If you know what I mean.
Yes.
Also, he's a journalist, so just a slimy journalist.
Well, is he still a journalist after the first movie? I mean, what does he do?
What does he do? Comment below.
Yeah.
What does he do for food?
Yeah.
How does he get food?
It just eats people's heads with venom, but does that satiate Eddie, his appetite?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah.
Where would you put him, Chris?
Well, I think I'd probably put him in the Mad Max him.
Sure, that seems right.
Because he's better than a lot of the other options, but you also, I'm not really worried about Venom killing. Because in these movies, Venom seems like a kind of a fun guy,
Yeah.
Plus, it could be nice if you had a spouse and you're like, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to Venom. You can kind of, both of you can voice your frustrations against the guy. And, no, I was saying that about Venom, not you,
Yeah, automatic fallback, yeah. Moving on, we got quite the character here, Alfie Solomon from Peaky Blinders. Shalom! Have you seen Peaky Blinders?
I think I've seen the first couple seasons.
He's quite the character. He's a Jewish man who makes bread, and he's got just one of the funniest accents I've ever heard.
I remember liking him in it. Like he's really great in the show there, and I love his voice.
This is definitely a thank you no or you are not to see this boy, because he's got some red flags taped on his chest, if you know what I mean. He just screams no thank you to me.
He's like basically like a mafia guy, right?
Yes.
So first of all, you'd kind of be worried about him doing something, but even if not, you don't want a Godfather situation with the head in the bed, and you got all the other rival gangs here. So I'd put that ahead of... I think I'd put that ahead of Bane and Bronson, because I feel like...
Right there.
Well, I'd go Bane before him, because I feel like Bane's villains, they're comic book villains. They're not really that sophisticated. They're not going to just kill less likely to kill your wife and do something versus Mafia. They don't even think twice. They'll,
Yeah. So he's comfortable down at the second to last position at the very bottom. Bloody. Can't trust him as far as I could throw him.
That's what I'd say.
Sure. All right. Up next, we got Tommy Conlon from the movie Warrior.
Tommy,
you turn this ship around.
sound like a gosh dang maraca.
I know you got him on that, Tommy.
I heard 3 of them.
Oh, man. Fantastic movie, though.
You turn this ship around. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, but fantastic.
It really is a good movie if you haven't seen it. He's a Marine. He's got a kind heart, although he does have some personal demons he has to expel first, I would say, work on yourself and then come back in a few years. So I'd put him comfortably at the him ? Or thank you, no.
Yeah, I think I'd go him because he's got his own personal problems, but if he wins the money or he's trying to win the money and he's sending it to like a wife of a fallen soldier or mom or something, right?
Yeah, his fellow military man's wife who passed away in the military. So that's an admirable trait.
Selfless there. And he's like a hero. He like rips off the tank or something, like a door from a tank, and saves some lives. But he also is kind of he ran away from the army or something. And so, I'd probably put him in that him. Like, he's not a bad guy, but it's not someone you'd be psyched that your daughter's dating,
Sure, yeah. Oh, boy.
Oh.
Up next, we got, from the movie Revenant, we got John Fitzgerald. Just look at this man. Like,
oh, yeah.
he's not a man you could trust at all.
Yeah.
He's got all kinds of diseases on his face alone.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been years since I've seen this, but he is the one that thought he killed Leo, but then he didn't.
Yes.
And he kills Leo's boy, right?
Yes. He's all about them pelts. Gotta get the pelts.
Oh, yeah. Gotta get them pelts. So,
pelts.
Yeah, he kills a kid. Not a great look, and kills the guy.
Not a great look.
Yeah. Not a... 2 things. He fooled me once, sure, but that second one. So, I mean, he's definitely, and I mean, you can't, I'm sorry, I can't look at that face, man. I'm
not sitting down to dinner with a face like that.
That's the bottom tier for me here.
Sure. I'm putting him just above Bronson on the bottom tier there.
That's fair.
All right. Up next, Eames from the movie Inception. This one probably is the most promising, the most normal out of all of them.
So far, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been all year since I've seen it. Like, he's just like kind of a smart guy. I don't remember him doing anything crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's questionable. He does Inception, which could be perceived as illegal or whatever. So he's got that gray area about him.
Kind of Indiana Jones gray area, though. Not like we're 50 Shades of it or anything.
Yeah. Sharp-dressed man. Seems to have a good job. Pays well. I would probably put not our first choice.
Maybe behind This Means War, just because what he's doing is illegal versus This Means War. He's got a stand-up job,
Absolutely. And the last one, we have Farrier from Dunkirk. Listen, he's a pilot.
Yeah, greatest in the
galaxy.
galaxy.
Be a pilot one day.
He's a war hero.
Oh, sure.
If I recall, he runs out of gas. And I think he ran out of gas because he was saving someone or something. And then he ends up saving the day at the end by shooting the bomber pilots right before they drop bombs at Dunkirk. And then he lands on the beach, gets out, burns the plane, and basically gets captive. Basically sacrificed himself. War hero, selfless. To me, he's got my full blessing.
He's got your full blessing?
I mean, he's definitely better than everyone else here. And to me, you can't get much better than that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. What do you think? You're not a fan of the veterans here, Steve?
No, I'm right next to you in your line of thinking. My only thing is I don't know much about him, so I'd like to sit down with a nice Stromboli and get to know the man a little bit more. But I feel like that's, we got to have one winner out here.
That's true. Also don't even know what his face looks like.
Yeah, he's covered up in that mask the whole time. He's got a nice little suntan, I bet. But that seems pretty fair. That seems pretty right, Christopher. There's many more Tom Hardy characters. We talked about doing the one from Star Trek Nemesis.
Khan.
He plays a young Yeah, but both of us are like, I don't want to watch Star Trek.
Yeah.
next.
I didn't want to.
That looks all right to me. Comment below if you think this tier list is right or wrong. Tell us why. Leave your comments below. But Christopher, I think that's all I got.
Yeah, I think maybe we can throw Locke just in that thank you note, just to have one, at least one in each.
Listen, if we're going to do thank you note, I'm going to put Bloody Venom down.
Oh, all right.
Just to have one of each. Because Locke, he's a cheater. He's an affairer. He has affairs.
I mean, that's true. That's why he's in the bottom.
He's a bad man.
He is a bad man. All right.
You stay down there.
All right, I'm with you. I agree.
Sure.
Let us know what you think. Tell us if you like this idea. Let us know what we should do next if you like it. If you hate it, tell us, please never do this again. This was the worst idea you ever thought of. Just let us know.
Yeah, be sure you like and subscribe and give us all the whatevers on LinkedIn. We got Farmers Only accounts.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got, Chris? We got YouTube, Twitter, Facebook,
MySpace,
Instagram, MySpace.
Farmville.
Connect with us on Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
All that jazz. But if that's all I got, Christopher, and if that's all you got, then everyone listening, thanks for listening and have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Popcorn. Pop, 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 pop.
This is the
Stale. Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Glen's Corner while I'm pissing in the bucket with Glenn.